Hello, yes, people, and welcome to the Yes Girls. And boy, do we have a lot of energy to share with you today.
Oh, did you see that? Yes, girls, and oh boy. Why did you say oh boy? You should have said oh girl.
I'm trying to, spread it around, gender balanced.
Yeah. So we're going to share, positive energy, as she said. Okay, she said
Woo.
energy, but we are sharing positive energy and very much renewable energy.
Mhm.
But more on that a bit later. For now, as you may know, or whether you know or not, we are the Yes Girls, and we are two wanderlusters who are making it our mission to say yes to doing, being, and learning something different every 2 weeks. And then we document our journeys for you to be here to listen to them. So this podcast is a result of us saying yes to sometimes challenging, sometimes fun, sometimes entertaining, and sometimes downright outrageous experiences.
Mhm. And today for episode 5
5.
of this, the second season of our beautiful podcast, baby.
Yeah.
We're proud parents.
Yeah, it's almost a year old, no? Okay.
Mm,
Has it started walking?
it's running.
What?
Tripping
because
over.
you're the father. Are you the father or the mother? It's a strange question.
I don't know. We'll
Okay, you're
figure
the
that out
runner
later.
parent.
I'm the running parent, yeah. And our baby is walking, then running, tripping over sometimes, but still trying their darndest.
Definitely your demon.
So today it's Akumu's turn to say yes to something that I already said yes to quite a while ago. So that means that I'm essentially the expert today. And Akumu is the yes girl of the day.
Trick sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say that, if I'm the yes girl of the day, does that mean I am yes girl 1? Please let me have this.
You're going to keep trying, aren't
Let
you?
me have this because there's only one episode left. And maybe in episode 6, I'll let you be the yes
Of this
girl 1.
season?
Yes. The next
Okay.
season, you can, maybe I'll let you.
I'll
be.
think about it.
Yeah.
Give me till the end of the
Come
episode to think
on.
about it.
Damn it. Okay, fine. Let's go on.
Yes.
So, so we, anyway, I mean, we can't keep arguing about minutia. I wanted to use that word today because time is a limited resource and life is short.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So we should save our energy, right?
Definitely.
Instead of fighting.
No minutia.
Anyway, enough of the puns.
Minutia.
Enough of the puns, hints, and the fancy vocabulary. Please tell us what you said yes to.
Okay, so this week, is it this week or
This episode.
This fortnight? I said yes to learning about, wait for it, clean energy. And damn it, before saying that, I think I should have probably said something clever like, I said yes to learning about energy that's had a bath. Or energy that you have when you're eating green smoothies every day. Eating smoothies.
Clean
okay,
energy.
really
Okay, clean energy. It's had a bath. Clean energy, like clean eating green
Smoothies every
smoothies.
day.
Okay,
Mhm,
okay.
mhm, clean
You
energy.
call that clever?
Very clever.
Well, anyway, you know better than to say such silly jokes on this podcast. I think you spent too much time under my tutelage.
Clearly.
But you do know because of that what clean energy actually is about. And you're going to tell us about it in this episode, right?
I'll do my best.
Please do.
Because I'm Akumu.
And I'm Claire.
And we are
the Yes Girls.
Hey, wait. Why did I go high and you went low? That's weird.
We're rubbing off on each other.
So let's get on with the episode.
Yes.
So far this season, we have done, been, and learned portrait sketching, pole dancing, social media management, and online tour guiding. That was the last episode, episode 4. And it seems you, the yes girls, boys, and everything in between are loving it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, at least we hope you are. Here's what Imani, one of our favorite listeners, had to say. Take a listen.
Oh, wait, not one of our favorite listeners. We don't have favorites like children. You don't have favorites.
We can have like 100 favorites.
We're one of her favorite podcasts. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Now she's feeling bad because we remove favorite from her.
All our favorites.
Okay. Like the way parents say, I love you all, but
yes.
Every parent has a favorite.
Yeah, but you can't admit it out loud.
Yeah, true. Okay, so Imani, you're still, listener of your favorite podcast, which is us. Listen in.
Hey guys, thanks for producing such a great podcast. And yeah, all the best with the further journey. Yes, I can imagine it's like it's pretty intensive, but I think it's also given you a lot of insights into different things as you try different challenges. And it's also inspiring me to say yes more.
Thank you, Imani. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Imani. Big hugs.
If you also want to send a message, you can hop onto our Anchor page. That's Anchor, ANCHOR, .fm/YesGirlPod /YesGirls Podcast. I don't know how you'd spell bleh. And click on the message button. We love hearing from you. Or you can also head to our Instagram page always and see behind the scenes action. Slide into our DMs,
Yes,
suggest a
please.
challenge or approach, or contact us about potential collaboration or partnerships. That's at Yes Girls Podcast.
Yeah, just those things, nothing else. Don't slide into our DMs for anything other than those things.
We say yes to everything.
Oh God, no! Don't give them ideas. So we've had so many great comments and DMs. So thank you all for everyone who's been listening, liking, commenting. Just anything you've been doing on our socials. We say yes to you today.
Yep, and we hope you loved this episode just as much as we enjoyed making it. So my challenge to Akumu was to learn about something that I've been passionate about in both my professional and personal life since I moved countries to pursue a career in it. So along with Laura, our honorary yes girl, I was about to say our energy yes girl, which would also make sense.
Oh yeah, that's perfect pun.
Energy. She set about learning about clean energy, about the science behind it, the benefits of it, and how it translates to real life impact and behaviors on the ground.
And all of this in just a few days. And the final challenge itself in a few hours, where we had to go into a Nairobi community where clean energy is really in hot demand and it's a hot need. And we had to raise awareness about the benefits of using, clean energy equipment, and to try and get people there to convert to, such, advanced practices or new age practices. So let's share a bit about what I'll share a bit about what I learned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, clean energy is one of the biggest development sectors in the world, especially right now, with billions of people burning biomass every single day for cooking, lighting. So biomass is wood, charcoal, or other natural raw materials.
Those are being used to create energy or anything, right?
Exactly, yeah. So you burn it and then it converts to energy, heat, electricity. So it's a huge issue.
And big money is going into it.
Not enough.
Not enough yet.
There's a lot of money going into dirty energy, but not yet enough going into
clean energy.
Clean energy, yep.
Okay. In many cases, the fuels that lots of billions of people burn and use for cooking and lighting are extremely polluting, contributing massively to global warming, indoor air pollution, respiratory illnesses that cause premature deaths of about 4 million people worldwide. I mean, you could simply call it a silent killer.
Yeah. Yeah, more than some of the things which we think are endemic, more than tuberculosis, more than malaria.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was afraid to say malaria because I was afraid to be cancelled by someone.
No, you're right. And thankfully, there are many organizations out there trying to change this or contributing to the change. So there's clean cook stove producers, solar companies, worldwide institutions. So, for example, there's the Clean Cooking Alliance under the United Nations Foundation.
Okay.
There's the Global Off-Grid Lighting Association, the World Bank, all like funding, facilitating, resourcing, helping to build this sector and pouring funding and research into changing dirty energy practices into clean energy practices and providing first-time energy access in certain scenarios.
Certain places.
But we still have a long way to go.
Super long. And 2030 is coming soon. So in Kenya alone, more than 80% of the population burns biomass in their homes. And this is not only costly, but it also costs a lot for our environment. There's a huge environmental impact on that.
So one organization in Kenya that's doing a lot to combat this is Livelyhoods. So that's lively as in lively.
With a Y, yeah?
Yes, with a Y. Lively with a Y. And then hoods, like, my hood, my neighborhood. Right?
Or also the hood I'm wearing. Hood, lively hood.
Thank you for illustrating. So Livelihoods trains youth and women in urban informal settlements across Kenya to distribute clean energy products, like clean burning cook stoves and solar products, so that the youth and women, earn an income and households have access to clean energy products, and the environment can breathe more easily.
And we can breathe better
Yep.
air from the environment. It's a funny story. Yesterday, I was coughing after skipping outside the gym. So I was wondering, maybe it's climate change. Anyway, so along with Laura, our guest, yes girl, for this episode, we joined Livelihoods for a day to learn more.
So tell us, Akumu, tell us what happened on your own clean energy journey.
Let's do
Clean
it.
energy journey.
Oh, I love it. Clean energy journey. New word, a lot. So clean energy, where to begin? So I know quite a bit about clean energy in general terms because I've worked with some clients in the space, in the general space. I mean, clean energy is huge. There's so many different aspects of it, right? There's cooking, and then there's transport. There's so many. But I've just known it on the high level, on the top level. But the thing that was and still is absolutely new to me is how that entire clean energy and climate change action space translates to my day-to-day life. And even worse, I'm not sure how it translates to fellow Kenyans' lives, especially those who know very little about climate change and the whole climate change, discussion. So it was hard enough for me to come to terms with that fact, and also the fact that, we have been destroying the planet for a century now or more. Yeah. So it's also hard to come to terms with the fact that green renewable energy is one of the new kids on the block, and we are really praying for it to save us from impending doom. So, I've had conversations with climate change deniers.
Oh gosh!
Imagine. I don't agree with the general idea of that climate change doesn't exist, but there are some things you talk to someone who you don't agree with, and they make some few points, and you're like, okay, that's a good point. And the same has happened when I had a debate with a renewable energy conspiracy theorist, and I was finding myself halfly agreeing, and I was like, damn. So even they have reasons why they are thinking like that.
But that's healthy. That's how you engage in debate. You need to be open and be able to see the reason behind things that you disagree with.
Exactly.
Even
like
if you still disagree with
shoes,
them.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I do that a lot, which is both a curse and a blessing. Anyway, so I was going into this whole challenge with all those things in mind, what I know, what I've heard, and what I kind of disagree with, what I partly disagree with, and all that. And it was completely outside my comfort zone because of that, but also because I don't like doing sales, especially face-to-face sales, because I always feel like you're begging someone to do something. And it's part of the reason why I'm in the career I'm in right now. It's because I don't do hard sales. Yes, I'm a marketer, but I do content marketing where you are enticing people and you're going around the bush to get them to finally come to your space and buy what you're selling, So Claire telling us that we are going to a community to actually sell something. Damn, it was hard.
All right, ladies, you've had your brief training on clean energy now, and you're about to go out to the field to be clean energy ambassadors. Ooh. How are you feeling?
A bit scared.
Scared?
Yes. Because I personally am scared of sales, and just approaching people is always shit. That's why I hide behind computers. That's why I do content marketing, right? I don't face people.
And this is face to face.
I know, so it's hard. We'll see how it goes.
And Laura?
I'm actually really excited. Like, this is a challenge. Yeah. I'm not really into sales, but I love a good challenge. So this, I'm looking forward to.
You are more of a yes girl than the original.
Yeah.
Mine is a small yes, hers is a big one.
A big yes.
Let's go for it.
So that explains why I was feeling a bit trepidatious. I think you used this word a few episodes ago. Trepidatious.
So you're just copying me.
It works, right? It works in this context.
When you say it the way you're saying it,
Come on,
it
how
sounds a
am I
bit
saying
odd,
it?
but yes.
How do you say it?
The way I say it, well, trepidatious.
What's wrong with mine? I said trepidatious. Same thing.
There's just something about the way you say it.
Claire is a hater. Is it my accent? Are you making fun of
No,
my
no,
accent?
no. Carry on. Exactly as you were. It's perfect.
So I was feeling trepidatious getting into the challenge. And so we were to go into the Kawangware neighborhood right next to where the Livelihoods office is. And funny enough, it's directly opposite my former school. Shout out to Biberrias.
And just to clarify, Kawangware is a neighborhood within Nairobi. So
Within
it's still
Nairobi.
within the city of Nairobi.
Yes, within the city of Nairobi. And it's opposite my high school. Shout out to Biberrians. I had to say that again so that Claire can roll her eyes. Yeah, so I was even though I was trepidatious about going to actually sell face to face, I was lucky to have a sidekick that was super happy about this challenge. Like she's energetic, and of course she does PR. Like she's a PR person in a PR agency, so she's the kind of person even outside PR and aside work, she just enjoys a good challenge. Like Laura, I think listens to all kinds of music, all kinds of movies. Like no fuss, nothing. So Hashi was very excited. So I remember even when, so actually before we went, I took the cooking stove. She took the solar lamp.
Solar home system.
Yes, thank you. Solar home system. So she had the hard thing to sell, and I had the kind of easy one to sell. So when we were looking for people to approach, I remember we approached a Bajia woman. The first person we approached was a Bajia vendor. A lady who was cooking bajia. And it was kind of easy to sell the stove to her because we were just pretty much telling her, this is the amount of money you're going to save in a year or two. And also we were telling her the fact that the stove, it's really cute. I mean, you should see one of these stoves. They look amazing compared to what everyone is using on the right now in that neighborhood. And we also pitched the fact that it wasn't going to be too smoky, and all that worked for her. So it was kind of an easy sell. And of course, as a good saleswoman, I also insisted to buy her bajia after the talk because they looked distractingly delicious in my head as she spoke to us while frying them. So I had to kind of buy them after that. And I hoped that that would kind of make the sale even easier, and she would definitely contact Livelihoods after that. So are you seeing the sales tricks I was doing here?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was all part of a strategy. I see. It
Kind
wasn't
of,
just
no,
being
but
tempted.
no, but the bajias were looking amazing, and they were awesome. So Laura was super pumped, even when she was pitching the solar home system, which was way harder to sell, and most people thought she was too expensive and frankly also unnecessary. So Laura did a very interesting thing. She threw in the fact that candles these days are not as durable as they used to be, and they're pretty tedious to use. And then you have this solar home system that just sorts you out, and you don't have to pay KPLC. KPLC is a how do you explain KPLC?
Kenya Power Company, basically.
Yeah,
the grid.
Yeah,
the
the
national grid.
The grid people that we pay.
Where you have to pay a lot of bills to.
Yes. So we were selling that to them, telling them, candles, no, paying KPLC, no. But I think the fact that it was a bit above their budget, it was always a harder sell. So most of them, you remember, they were saying, give it to us as a package deal with the stove.
Yeah.
Because the stove was an easier sell, which is something Biolite.
Yeah, like except the solar home system is way more expensive
way
than
more
the stove.
expensive. Yeah. But I think you should find a way.
It's like buying a car and getting a free house.
You need to find a way to get like a one lamp as a package deal. I don't know. Anyway, I was trying to give Claire, business advice, and
I've not even on your own challenge.
I know. So I know. So Laura was doing some amazing things during the sale. And I remember, when we were going to the first bajia vendor, I tried to push her to go fast because I was scared. But after the first success, kind of, the fact that it was being taken very easily, I was more courageous, to now even start approach and pitch. So I think the next place we went to was a salon on the same street, a few blocks away. And still women. One was cooking and two were standing, and it was pretty easy to sell the stove. Again, the solar home system was hard to sell. But of course, in the end, we ended up speaking to Boda Boda guys. So Boda Boda, for those of you who don't know, is named for a motorbike. So Boda Boda guys are people who transport others, parcels, and things on the motorbike. So there was just a bunch of them on a corner, and we approached them with the stoves, and they were really intrigued. And I think that was the best part of that afternoon because we were talking to a different target audience. Because before we were talking to maybe a woman, and whether she's single or not, I think they seemed to buy the idea, but we were not sure they were the decision maker or maybe the person who pays for things financially, right? So the fact that we were talking to boda guys and, we approached them, they said, yeah, we use gas, and they were very proud of it. And then we told them, oh, by the way, you can spend less money with this stove. And they were very intrigued. And then now the interesting thing we did with Laura was we brought in the breadwinner pitch where we told them, oh, you give her how much in a month? Now imagine with this stove, you'll give her way less money. And then his eyes were big and he was interested.
Like less money for fuel.
Less
right?
money for fuel,
Yeah.
yes. And I think he just, I think at some point he even made a joke and said, if I hadn't been using gas the past year, by now I would have bought a car or something like that. So that was interesting, just seeing, talking to a target audience on one perspective and talking to a different target audience who actually makes decisions financially.
Or at least that's the impression that they gave.
That's what they
impression
gave.
that we
But
got,
one guy actually said yes, he gives the wife this amount of money. So we used that, and that was kind of the sales tricks that I somehow found that I happen to know, and even Laura knows. Like you ask someone a question, and then you use what they've told you to sell to them and find a way in. Yeah, so that was pretty much the experience, and just the fact that it was kind of an easy sell. The stove was an easy sell because it's very useful. And I think sales in general, I'm scared of sales in general, but I think this challenge taught me that selling something that's actually useful is way easy. Like you don't have to do so much work. You convince them, the thing convinces them for you.
It sells itself.
Exactly, sells itself. So you need to make cook stoves that actually speak. Then you won't need salespeople.
So, are we done for the day?
So far, yes, depending on whether we'll find someone else interesting to talk to.
But Laura, what did you just tell me?
Pretty much done for the day, but I think it was quite successful. We got lots of guys interested. Okay, lots from...
Yeah, like women.
Literally everyone
men.
we talked to were excited about the product. So I'm sure there'll be follow-up and there'll be sales.
But didn't you just tell me I can go home now and you'll stay selling?
Oh yeah,
That's a plan.
yeah, because the curfew is finally out of our lives. So maybe.
It's actually really fun. I'm enjoying. Yeah, I'm enjoying.
You are naturals.
Yeah, so I think all these people we talked to eventually took the Livelihoods contacts so that they can contact them later. I mean, we were not taking the money. We were just giving them the contacts for Livelihoods, and then they would contact them and have a discussion. Yeah, and I think most of them are also interested in, paying slowly and all that. So we told them, please contact them for more information. We're trying to get them to contact them. Yeah, so overall, I enjoyed the experience, and I even felt interested in exploring sales a little more, but don't quote me on that. Anyone who's listening who wants to give me a job, I'm not going to do
You
sales.
do know we're recording.
I know, right?
So it's very easy to quote you.
Okay, anyone? Oh, I know. Okay, I'll just stop that line of thought. Anyway, meanwhile, unlike Laura, who would do it again, I think after that afternoon, she said, yeah, Claire, just give me more of these things. I'll sell them for you.
Yeah.
So Laura was excited, but I was like, you can call me, but maybe after 3 months, So it was fulfilling to sell something useful and also to learn a few sales skills that I've probably never used before. So I think I would rate myself a 7.7.
Okay.
Quite low, kind of low, because I went in not excited. I didn't go with energy to sell the energy.
So you think that you started off much lower and then as you went along, you kind of increased points.
I increased my energy, my pace, and I just got excited. I think Laura's excitement was contagious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was. I've got to say. Okay. Well, maybe I can give my opinion as well.
Yes,
and
please.
A bit of history.
So tell us a bit of history. Maybe, I think you mentioned clean energy brought you to Kenya.
Sort of. Let's get into that next.
Yes. Tell me. I'd like to hear.
my journey into clean energy probably started when I was in secondary school. And I realized we could directly, each of us, take actions that helped the environment, the world around us, and ourselves, right, and our families. So with some of my school friends, we were super cool, super non-nerdy. We campaigned and organized to launch a school-wide recycling scheme.
Nerdy. Yeah. Okay, continue.
Yeah, no, we were very, very nerdy and loving it. So this was before the UK had widespread recycling, even in schools, homes, businesses, right? So it was new. Secondary school, 2001, 2002.
Oh, okay, that's a long time ago.
Like 20 years ago. Yeah, about 20
Everyone has just calculated your age right now.
No problem. I'm proud of my age. I earned every single one of those years and wrinkles. So fast forward to when I entered into the world of work, and one of my first jobs took me to Tanzania, working in, you guessed it, clean energy. So I would ride around the countryside around the Lake Victoria area in Tanzania, hammering solar panels into the roofs of rural homes, using Google Translate to explain to people how to charge their phones and light their homes with this newfangled technology, right? It's still quite new then.
How different is this company? Okay, you'll tell us later.
It's very similar. It's very similar to what I'm doing now.
But you were you were going to the field.
It was a much earlier stage company. Company which is now doing amazingly, by the way.
What's the name of the company?
I won't name them on this because I haven't got permission. So flash forward to moving to Kenya, and I actually joined Livelihoods, right? The organization that you've talked about, that we partnered with for this episode. So I joined them as director of development, and I was there for 4 years, 4 amazing years, securing funding, conducting monitoring and evaluation activities, talking to manufacturers, users, investors, and researchers. And I really, during that time, honed my technical knowledge around the benefits and technologies involved. But most importantly, I saw how all of this translated to the actual needs and use cases on the ground, right? So I would actually visit households and businesses across Kenya. Work even took me to India to visit peer organizations. And what I learned, what I learned was even more important than that. It was that clean energy and the transition to a cleaner, less polluted, healthier and more economical world is through individuals who make choices that are right for them and right for their families, communities, and the wider world, right? What I mean by that is you won't get a household that will buy a solar product because it'll make the world a better place. Right? We'll make choices that are right for us, and the benefits for the wider world are kind of a knock-on effect.
That's
right?
true. Actually, even when we were selling, we were not talking about climate change, blah, blah, blah.
That's not what's going to make someone buy. In the same way that, I don't often, I could choose to take a train. It could be more economical for the environment than a plane, but I'm more likely to take a plane because it's quicker, which is more important to me, right? Sadly, we usually make choices that are best for us. So here, the good thing is these are choices that are better for individuals, but also benefit the world, right? So they'll buy it because it saves them money, right? A clean cook stove or a solar home system saves them money, keeps their house cleaner, gives them a social status afforded by something modern and aspirational.
Aspiration. You were telling us about aspiration.
Exactly. But at this, they'll realize afterwards, oh, actually, this does, we are cutting down fewer trees, or we are producing less charcoal, or, oh, this climate change thing, this is part of it. Oh, nice. I feel good about that.
The question. So do you, in the companies you've worked for, were you putting that in the marketing strategy?
No.
What do you mean?
To sell at the base of the pyramid in emerging markets, so in Africa and Asia, that is not the way to sell these products.
So you have to not even mention climate change.
You can mention it, just it won't help.
Sell.
No,
so you are
it's
only
too abstract.
money.
We mentioned the how it impacts the individual, right?
Where would you...
cleaner kitchen, less money, less coughing, right? If it's for cooking, right? Cooking with things that produce a lot of fumes.
But where would you use the high level kind of discussion?
So that's when it comes to the development argument, right? Funding, development, the actual broader impact beyond the individual, the health impact even. We know that that's scientifically factual, but that's not what changes the individual's life,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
We're not most of us as individuals will not suffer because of climate change right now. That's the sad truth about it.
Yeah.
Most of us, I mean, many are, and I'm not negating that, right? The flooding, the fires, the bushfires, etc. They are very real and affecting a lot of people, but the majority of the world will not be, they won't have their livelihoods affected or their health or safety directly affected by climate change in the next couple of decades. Exactly. Not in a major way that they'll say this is directly due to how we cook or light our homes. Okay. So yeah. To this day, I work in clean energy. So I actually work with Biolite, which is one of the products that one of the companies that manufactures one of the products we were working with.
Shout out to Biolite.
And I'm still constantly learning and asking questions. And this clean energy world, as I'll call it, is one that I find incredibly satisfying and worthwhile to be involved in personally. And I would really encourage anyone to look around them and just look at, how we cook, how they as an individual cook and clean and light their house, and how the people around them do as well, right? Family members in rural areas, or how what are we burning? Where does your energy come from, right? Do you actually know? I mean, it's usually in more rural areas where we see the most polluting energy practices at the household level. But then obviously it's higher income people who can have a major impact through things like transport, which you mentioned, right? Planes, trains, automobiles. So I was really proud of how Akumu and Laura really got stuck into this very difficult and sometimes quite abstract topic. And I really saw you guys getting into it.
It was Laura's energy is infectious.
Yeah, but even you, I mean, you were asking a lot of questions when we were with Livelyhoods and getting the briefing beforehand on the product. We had one of their sales agents and one of their managers there. They had a lot of questions. So I would give you both a 9 out of 10.
Yay!
The only reason I'm not giving you a 10 is because I think that now you still need to go beyond what you learned with Livelihoods. Keep learning about it, talking about it with people around you, and to really apply that knowledge and expand it and share it, most importantly.
Awesome.
Right? Because it's not enough for you to just have that, but really share it. Proselytize. Spread the gospel. What? Oh, there's a new big word for you.
What? Please spell it.
Proselytize, I think.
Proselytize.
Proselytize. Yeah, convert people.
God. It's like...
There you go. Too much learning for you today.
But I have one question before we move on. So if you are not in the cooking... Wait, which areas of clean energy do you handle?
Cooking and lighting.
If you are not in those two, which other area would you be interested in?
Of clean energy or of the world?
Clean energy, climate change, that whole shebang.
I mean, I've
transport? No,
no, really. I mean, these are the two that I've just I fell into them, kind of. So,
would you have chosen them if you had the choice?
I don't know if anyone just chooses because of looking at a list and picking it out. It's all to do with what exposure you have and developing an interest. So, and like I said, it goes back. The recycling scheme I started in school, it goes back to a concern and a drive to do better.
So you've never done recycling projects ever again? Are you going to do more?
Well, now thankfully recycling is so widespread in the UK.
Yes.
In Kenya, not so
different
much.
Story.
Yeah, but no, even in my running club, right? We always give small plastic bottles at runs, and I'm trying against so much resistance to start, not providing small plastic bottles. Like bring your own reusable bottle, and we bring one of those big dispenser type bottles, so you can fill up your bottle on the way. Even just little things like that, that's how we can all make a difference, right? It doesn't have to be starting a school-wide recycling scheme or distributing hundreds of thousands of clean energy products across Africa.
Organizations. So for you're looking at it in an individual level.
I mean, we can all great, go and do those big things. But if we can all make even the smallest impact, right? I always carry reusable straws with me, right? Metal straws. I always have one in my backpack.
Where
So
did
if
you
I
get them
go, you can buy them at organic markets. You can buy them from a lot of like kitchen
from?
stores.
But not normal supermarkets, no? Here in
Some
Kenya.
normal supermarkets will have, but I'm not sure if all of them. But if you actually look for them, or if you go on Instagram, there's a lot of Instagram accounts. Just literally type like green or recycled or eco-friendly products or reusable straws in the country you're in, and you can order them. So anytime I go in and get like a milkshake after a long run, I love chocolate milkshakes after long runs, or go to a bar and get a cocktail. I'm like, no thank you, I don't need a plastic straw. It's only one straw a week maybe, but at least you are doing that, and someone else might see that and be inspired as well. And it's those little things that add up to big change.
Okay.
Right?
That's
like in
interesting.
everything.
But not everyone looks at little change in the same way, Yeah.
And also, it's not even about the impact it has. It's also that you feel, that you're doing something, and you can feel proud of the way that you are carrying yourself through the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Preach.
Claire for president. Not sure which country though.
You have the choice.
So if you want to learn more about clean energy, you can
Please do.
Yes, please. She'll stalk you. She's obsessed. You can click on the show notes of this episode to get the links and any useful resources we'll share with this episode. And please check out Livelyhoods. It's Lively hoods. Hoods like the hood, neighborhood, and the hood that I'm wearing. And the website is livelihoods.com, same spelling, .org. And please check out Biolite at bioliteenergy.com or Biolite on Instagram. Yeah, at Biolite, BIOLITE.
Yeah, and if you want to suggest something that you think the Yes Girls should do, be or learn for a future episode, share your ideas. If you want to share your expertise, your business, or passion with us through one of our episodes, please do get in touch. We are all ears at Yes Girls Podcast.
We also share behind the scenes photos, videos, reels, anything you want on our socials. Embarrassing dances that Claire does not want to do.
Please never make me do them again.
We're doing one today.
No.
Anyway, so you can get a little bit of all that and what we put ourselves through in the name of doing, being, and learning for your entertainment.
And education.
So right now we burn. Oh my God, this reminds me of this Bridgerton.
I burn for you. I burn for you,
we
Dan
burn
and Doris.
for you, Dana said, and Doris Onyango. She's laughing. She's looking at us and laughing.
That's burn because a clean burning cook stove, right? Not because we actually burn for you.
You're using clean, but in Bridgerton they didn't mean the clean.
It was not clean. Bridgerton is not
clean.
That's why I love it.
Okay, so Dana said, and Doris, we burn you in a clean way. We burn for you. Because they produce this podcast for us at Summerbox, Baraza Media Labs. And we are overflowing with energy for Pedro Brian, who composed our wonderful theme music. And we are shining a bright light for Livelihoods and Biolite. For helping us out with this episode, for training us, for answering our questions. And we have clean energy, for plenty of clean energy for you, the Yes Girls and Boys, and everyone in between.
There's just one more episode to go for this season and this current format of the show. So we'll see you, or rather, you'll hear us in 2 weeks, where I will be saying yes to something, which I thought I would be able to get away with never saying yes to.
Not a chance. Ha ha ha. Evil laugh. Moo ha ha ha. Anyway, but she's a yes girl, right? So she has to go outside her comfort zone, whether she likes it or not.
Yep. So see you next episode, right?
Yes. Because we are
the Yes Girls. Oh, yeah.